Hey all the fans, like I said, Civ Game, 2K UK, anybody who sees it really. I just wanted to do a video rather than tweet all the time or post on our Facebook group and everything that we got for Civ. I wanted to go over Civ 7, like ideas, concepts and things. Something kind of struck me and I think the whole picture makes sense when you add all the little things together. So what I was thinking of is as a rule book is fluidity. I'd love to see cities get placed and then borders naturally just expand and you kind of naturally claim all this land because you've got no one near you, so you're like, this is all ours, we've got the whole kingdom. Stopping at rivers because no one would be able to defend land the other side of a river, so everything up to, that's why when you see a lot of towns, villages, especially here in the UK, everything runs up to split by Old Canal Pass. So in theory you want these localised kind of regions to be, this was our land. One thing I do want to see change with that is, and this is where it all ties in, rather than population, I want to see like the culture in the city be able to flip tiles when they're adjacent to each other to a rival, as well as if, rather than population dictate loyalty, I want it to go on wonders. So if you build like the Hanging Gardens in your city, the rival or your own cities, they should all gravitate towards that one kind of like mecca of a place, you know. So the idea is you can either end up with building all your wonders in your capital and your empire becomes very centralized and these fringe ones are prone then to losing tiles, or you can distribute your wonders and your culture buildings around your empire, and then you can have basically pinching a few bit of population from a neighbor, flipping some tiles close to a neighbor, rather than have all of the Greek wonders. I'd like to see the Greeks have like a special perk where they can build a temple for, as a culture building, a temple for in honor of a god. So if you've got like ones that you want to boost yields from, I don't know, all animals, pastures, and that, you build Temple of Artemis. If you're coastal and you want to build all your coastal tiles, Temple of Poseidon, Temple of Zeus if you've got mountains, and basically have a nice little mechanic in there where their gameplay aim is to have all of their cities have lots of culture, and therefore their empire gets quite vast, quite strong, and obviously quite cultural. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that I'd like to see in there as a way of just mixing it up a little bit. Like I said, rather than your loyalty flips, have your culture do that, and let you kind of micromanage. I'd love to see annexing back. I'd love to be able to go in there when you do get a bigger empire and just say, right, okay, fringe cities, or if you're on the aggressive trying to do that kind of strategy, go, okay, the couple near my capital, I'll concentrate on my capital and my outside borders, but I'm going to try these middle ones. I'm just going to automate them and have it where you can tell them to aim a certain way if you wish. You could have some way you go, look, my general rule in the city, I want to generate currency. And they will look at building the buildings within currency districts if districts return. Hopefully they do. It was a good thing from 6. And then just have it where that you can have a focal point if you want them to start churning out loads of religion for you. I think you should have an automated was it revolution? No, it wasn't. It was 5. Automated spawning of apostles. Brilliant. You know, as soon as they're ready, just keep banging them out there. Although I quite a lot of time do love to do a late religion. If I can't get the first one, I usually then hold off, let everyone else kind of fight out and argue, and then I do tend to then declare mine once every single city has a holy site. They all flip instantly, then I can start just making mass units, and then I can just start attacking who is the strongest religious, you know, group at the time, and then usually that's a really good strategy to get very easy religious wins. I'd like to see trade be overhauled. I'd like to see trade be, I'd like to see the tech tree not be linear. I'd like to see smaller branches on it. So just like when you've got like over here, if you've got iron, goes up, bang, a load come off there. If you've not got access to iron, you're gonna have to research the normal rest of the tech tree. Unless you've got a neighbour with you that you're trading the iron with, and it shouldn't just be a 30 turn kind of thing, it should be like an automated set fee, you know, or trading luxuries for luxuries, items for items, and I think they should automatically do roads. They should kind of trade should also impact the population loyalty type flip as well. So that'd be really nice to see. What else was I going to go on to? So there's the loyalty flipping, trade. Obviously, if you don't have access to something, because like I said, historically, if you don't have access to iron, you can't have swords and this that. But I'd have it where you can trade it, you can buy access to it. Science as well. I'd like to see everyone. It sounds weird, be a bit more friendly as a general rule for the AI. However, as soon as you start to make political influences yourself, so for example, you decide you're not wanting to share iron and the understanding and the technology of iron with someone because you think that's a war civ, have it where they do get pretty disgruntled very quickly because it's like, why was you sharing it with Portugal but not me and all the rest of it. I'd like to see, rather than the civic tree go linear and then unlock all of the different governments, I'd like to see probably the same 9-12 governments off the start, so you can just have your preferred one, and then every era have it where you unlock an extra card slot, and with that you can tie it in. You can be like, you know, if someone's got a perk, say America, when you get to a certain era, or I unlock an extra wild card slot, it could be, well, the actual one that they prefer as well has an economic slot given how they view things. Or so that'd be nice to see, you know, the monarchy doing it, and all the civs that prefer like the monarchy are naturally going to be better with each other. All the ones that prefer democracy are going to get on together. I don't know how practical it is, but I'd love to have seen like a shared religion type agenda. Maybe a mechanic where if you can get all of your religion into a civ, you've completely converted all of their lands. You should be able to use diplomatic favour to go in there and be like, okay, we've converted all of you to Christianity, Islam, custom religion, and then have it where they basically accept that as their new religion. And then if they've got their own holy sites, they will then still continue to churn out units and share it as if it was their own. So you can kind of snowball. If you can start to spread your religion around your local neighbours and that, they will actually aid you in sharing it to like a global religious status. That'd be a good thing to see as well. But again, these are just some crazy ideas that I've come up with. I've not exactly got a checklist in front of me. I was just making it up just as they'll come to the top of my head from memory. But I mean, this would have took like 5 million tweets to get out, so I think this is a bit easier to do. But like I said, any pointers, comments, throw comments in there. I'll check them. I'll try to share it to our Facebook group as well. But yeah, I just want to know everyone's feedback on that kind of thing. One more thing as well, I would love to see somehow like a Google map type terrain. I'd just, with variants of vegetation and growth and stuff, be able to hide units in woods and things like that. I'm trying to think of, what was the game? Rus? It was a World War game. That for me had beautiful maps, especially when you zoomed out of them and went in. It changed the gameplay mechanic and everything. That was brilliant. But I mean, I'll sign it off now because we've hit 9 minutes. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's having a good time. Enjoy the weather if it's hot where you are. And yeah, peace out.